So I want to take William the Conqueror off the table. I'm going to transport you back there. You're going to time travel. And I'm going to tell you can pick one of these kings. That one be your king, right? And I'm going to put you in the court, too. So you got to work for him on a day-to-day basis.
Sure.
You got to pick one. Which one are you going to pick?
I think I would go with King Knut. I mean, they didn't call him Knut the Great for nothing. I mean, he really earned that. He had a character arc in the story, as they say about novels and everything. When he was a kid, he was an out-and-out Viking. I mean, he didn't care anything about killing people. He had hostages on the beach at Sandwich, and he just wanted to make an example out of them. So cut their noses off and castrated some of them and then sent them home just to demonstrate what a labadas he was. That was him as a young man. And then when he struck that bargain with Ironside, and then Ironside was killed, and that was probably Knut's doing as well, him still being a Viking. But eventually you see him when he attains power and is king in England, all the other powers in Europe take notice of him. And he gets invited actually to the wedding of the Holy Roman Emperor in Rome, because he is now, although he's a quote-unquote barbarian, he is a leader of a large nation. I mean, England is nothing to be sneezed at over there. And he comes over to Rome and sees the ruins of the Eternal City and sees how the Holy Roman Emperor conducts himself and uses religion as a political tool. And I think it struck me that Knut really grew up on that trip. The day of the coronation, he wrote a letter home to the English people, basically saying, I may have not been a good king to this point, but I'm going to be a good king. And it seems to me that he had an epiphany at that moment. And after that, you don't see him slaughtering his enemies. You see him defeating his enemies, but being merciful. Well, he didn't really get the chance to go up against Olaf of Norway, but they think that he went over into Sweden and conquered over there and did not kill anybody. He went up to Scotland. That kingdom was rising up. And he basically struck a bargain with them and said, look, you can rule here as my vassal, and we don't have to go to war. Just take the knee to me. And most people were smart enough to do that. And after that, England really had, a decade and a half or so of peace. I mean, he proved to be a wise and a religious and peaceful king. And I think he was the best king in the story.